Yo, what's up guys? It's Gaz, welcome to the Warframe video. So today we have the final part of the current Prime access, which is Titania Prime, the Frame herself. So we're going to go over a build for her, how to play her, what all of her abilities do, how to mod out her exalted weapons. Yeah, I actually modded out her exalted melee. And then I'm going to do a full mission gameplay to show you how I normally play Titania in an everyday mission. So let's get started. So, Titania, her passive. She has gotten a new passive recently, where if she casts an ability, any of her abilities will count. It's actually going to give 4 health regen per second for a few seconds to all allies in range. And that 4 per second is not moddable by strength, so that's all you get. She also has an additional passive where when she bullet jumps, she just bullet jumps farther and faster. So she has 2 mini passives, and that's both of them. Let's get into the actual first ability here. So it's got 2 functions to it. Let's pause these guys just so I can show you how this works. So first off, if you don't have a target and you hold down the first ability button, it's going to give you status immunity. It's also going to give your teammates status immunity as well if you target them with it. If you target an enemy with your first ability, it's going to make, in a radius, they're going to become like ragdolled and unable to attack. And you can easily attack them back, so pretty good CC there. It can make them like float around, which is a little bit annoying, so just be aware of when you're casting it and making sure you're not like annoying yourself. Like as you see right here, like he's just floating around. I can't really easily headshot him, and they will eventually fall out of it, so keep that in mind too. If you have negative duration, negative range, anything like that. Negative stats I don't find to be very good on Titania. I'd say negative range is definitely not something you ever want to have. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're making your build. So that's the first ability. The enemies are also going to drop their weapons, and when they get back up from being CC'd, they're going to have to go pick up their weapon before they can attack again. Alright, so that's the first ability. Now let's go over the second ability, which is pretty complicated. And it's going to require some explanation. That's why we actually have a chart to explain all the different things for her second ability. So, it's got 4 different parts to it. So it's got these 4 little buffs you can cycle through. The bottom right corner you can see, I'm starting on the first one called Thorns. So what Thorns does is you target an enemy with it, and it's actually going to provide them, it's going to provide you and your affected teammates damage reflection. The wiki says it provides damage reduction as well, but I'm not convinced on that one. Also, to get these buffs, you need to actually target an enemy with it. They're going to drop this like little spirit thing out of where they were, and then you need to either go over there and pick it up yourself, or if you're using your 4th ability, which makes you a flying around fairy, your little butterflies will go pick it up for you as well. So, I put up the buff, the butterfly picked up the buff, and now I have the buff that the spirit created. So, that's very important. We didn't even get to the 4th ability, but I did need to explain that to you before we got to it, guys. So, Thorns, the first one you start off on, damage reflection, 50%. That basically means if an enemy shoots you, they get the damage reflected back at them. The second one, Dust, is going to reduce enemy accuracy by 50%. And the way you can tell that they're affected by this this aura is they're going to actually have energy butterflies flying around them. So, let's get that one going here. See if you can see the butterflies. Alright. Kind of hard to see with this energy color. You can kind of see it on these guys. It is currently affecting that guy right there. So, yeah, maybe a more noticeable energy color would be helpful for that. And then we're going to also move on to the third one, which is called Full Moon. This is definitely the most useless of all 4 of them. And what that's going to do is you get the buff, and it's going to make your Hubrows, Cats, Sentinels, and your Butterflies from your 4th ability. They're going to all have increased armor and damage. So, it's mostly useful for the butterflies, because the butterflies, they get shot a lot, and as you can see, that gets killed in this level 100 eventually. It's not going to be very fast, but it eventually will kill that level 100 Butcher. But something to keep in mind with this, guys. Yeah, you're increasing the stats of your companions, but look at this right here. Count Kirby was right next to me. When I go into my 4th ability with Titania, which you probably should be in all the time, it's actually going to, take your cat. So Count Kirby is going to get a damage boost, but he has disappeared. Now he's in, I don't even know where he is, but he got teleported away, and now he can't really even benefit from the damage buff. So, Count Kirby being a damage god is just not really a thing that's going to happen, unless, it also works with your teammates' companions, so it might be beneficial there slightly, but, yeah, it's just like a 75% damage bonus, and keep in mind, this is not affected by mods. This ability is a weird one. It's got 2-second duration, all all the buffs and auras, and they also are not affected by strength. So I feel like they should maybe buff it to make it so they're affected by mods. And then the final one, Entangle, probably one of the most useful out of all of them. It's going to make a slowing aura around the area, make the enemies slower. So there you go. That's what all 4 of her little buffs do. Look at that little chart on screen, and I'll definitely be coming back to this video to check that out if I forget. Also, the Wikipedia has the information, but like I said, I'm not convinced that I'm getting 50% damage reduction during her the Thorns buff. All right, next ability, which is called Lantern. So her first ability provides CC. Lantern also provides CC, and for this one, we're going to unpause the enemies just so they can actually attack. I did not mean to clear that, so we're just going to get some random dudes here. We'll get some butchers. All right. Butchers are actually like a complete joke to Titania. Titania does have the specific enemies that I'm going to go over, though. All right, so her 3 is going to make all the enemies in the area attack the enemy that you targeted with this ability. So as you see, like they are not even like trying to like attack anything else. They're just going for this guy in the middle, like I targeted with my 3. Additionally, they're taking fire damage per second, and I can actually detonate the 3 by holding the button down. The guy got exploded. I can actually just retarget him again, and now he's CC'd again. So, pretty powerful ability, although it's not really necessary most of the time. It's pretty much an ability I never use, unless I'm like, why not? Let's just cast it. And as I said, guys, Titania is pretty good against melee enemies, but she actually has a big problem with a specific enemy called the Bombard. So the reason the Bombard is a big pain in the butt for Titania is because the Bombard has homing rocket launcher. And the way Titania survives is she actually has lots of evasion stackers. So like enemies are going to be less likely to shoot her. Of course, you could just CC them like that, but their homing rockets will actually hunt down Titania in her Razor Wing, and they do a lot of damage. So you're probably going to want to mod a little bit defensively if you're playing Titania and you know Bombards are going to be there and you're not going to be able to insta-kill them. Which you probably will be able to insta-kill them, no problem. But as you see the rocket, I did dodge it right there, but he can just fire another one off. Yeah, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but because like they can get bothered by these flies, you can just shoot them with your pistol, and not a big deal. But yeah, the homing rocket is kind of a problem for Titania. So let's go over the build real quick, and I'm going to explain. We didn't even go over her 4. I've been using the 4 the whole time. Okay, so this is probably the ability most people know Titania for. No pun intended. So what your 4th ability does on Titania, you basically turn into an Arcwing, and you have these little butterflies flying around you called the Razor Flies. Those Razor Flies are going to go and annoy the enemies. They're going to like make the enemies like flail around, not attack you. And then you also have these pistols called the Dex Pixia. They're going to give you, they have pretty good damage if you mod them out fully. And they also have an ammo, like an amount of ammo they can use before they have to recharge. So with my current build, which has a magazine mod on it, I have 93 shots in my Dex Pixia. And it's going to be kind of hard to get to the bottom of the magazine with that magazine size. I stopped firing for a couple seconds, like not even a second. It fully recharges back to full. So you could use the arcane called Arcane Pistolier to give you infinite ammo once you kill an enemy with a headshot, but I did not find that necessary. I'm using Arcane Precision for additional damage. So yeah, and by the way, you can cast all of her other abilities while you're in the Dex Pixia. So I can cast my 1. If there was enemies here, I could cast my 2 on them. I can also cast my 3. So when you put all these things together, it makes Titania basically like an Arcwing fairy of death. You can do a bunch of CC. You can give some decent buffs to your teammates. Not great buffs. If they were affected by mods, they'd probably be a little bit better buffs. And then you also can just deal some pretty good damage. So here's the build we're currently running. I'm running Prime Vigor because I want a little bit of defensive mods, just because I've been having some problems with Bombards in these missions. That's going to give me more shield and more health. Pretty nice with the addition of shield gating. Additionally, I've only put 1 forma on her, and that's an Aura forma. And the Aura forma doesn't let me switch between different polarities of Exilus mods, or Aura mods whenever I want to. I can put the Steel Charge if I felt like it. I can put on Brief Respite if I felt like it. Corrosive Projection. But the one I'm going to recommend to you guys, if you have it, this is a pretty rare one. It's called Aerodynamic. So this is going to provide you 24% damage reduction while airborne. And while you're in your Razor Wing 4th ability, flying around like a fairy, you're always going to be airborne. So this is going to give you 24% damage reduction. Additionally, you can run the Exilus mod called Aviator, which is going to give you 40% damage reduction while airborne. So pretty good combination there. We're getting 60% damage reduction, 64% damage reduction while airborne. If you want to go even more defensive, you could run something like Adaptation, but like I said, it's not going to help you that much with bombards as they deal huge chunks of damage per shot. So I found a health and shield mod to be nice here. If you didn't want to run that one, you could run Vitality, going to give you more health overall, but not give you that much shield. Or if you don't even want to run defensive mod period, you could just run something like Narrow-Minded, which is going to cut down your range a lot, but going to give you more duration. But like I said, you don't want negative range on Titania, so I'd recommend keeping that stat. I'd say it's keep all the stats positive, potentially negative duration, but not for the build we're running at all. So going over the rest of the build, we have rank 3 Fleeing Expertise and a rank 5 Streamline. That's going to let you get 70% efficiency and not cut your duration too hard. That's going to make it so the drain per second on your one is almost the bare minimum it can possibly be. So keep that one in mind. You can actually go to 75% efficiency and increase the duration more if you want to have a lower drain. But for my purposes, since I'm running Arcane Energize, and it is not felt necessary at all. So, and then we're going a little bit into strength with the Augur Secrets and Intensify mods. These are going to make it so our Razor Wing Blitz, which is going to give us additional speed and stuff, is going to scale harder. We're also dealing more damage per shot with our pistol. So it goes from 160 to 246. That's also affected by mods. Keep that one in mind. And then strength doesn't really affect the other stuff on her abilities too much. You're mostly modding strength for her 4th ability, just to give you more damage. And if you're running this augment mod like I am, which is going to give you increased speed and fire rate in your 4 when you cast an ability, it's going to scale it even harder. Per cast, we get 38% speed and 38% fire rate. Pretty powerful. And then the final is just duration to make our buffs last, our Razor Wing Blitz last longer. Also, our status duration to last longer too. So, like I said, not the only way to build Titania. You could go even harder into strength if you want to. You can go harder into duration and efficiency. Even if you want to make a CC build, you could go higher into range. She's pretty versatile and her abilities do a lot. So, as far as arcanes, I'm using this one called Arcane Precision on a headshot. It's going to give me increased damage for pistols. So if I had a rank 5, it would be 100% chance for 300% base damage on pistols for 18 seconds. Her Dex Pixie are considered pistols, so all the pistol arcanes work on her pistols. So actually Arcane Awakening, I don't believe that one works because she does not actually reload, but Velocity gives you additional fire rate. Pistolier gives you infinite ammo, pretty powerful, and then Precision is the one I'm running because it gives you more damage. And she doesn't really need extra damage, but sure, it's fine with me. So that one's good. And then also Arcane Energize. Since you're in a channeled ability, Arcane Energize gives you energy while you're channeling, and this will keep your energy fully maxed pretty often, and you will never leave your fairy mode. So that's it for the build. Like I said, customization is available. And then we're going to move on to her Dex Pixia and her sword. So Dex Pixia are pistols. This is another one that has a good amount of flexibility. I do recommend to run a crit build on this thing just because, like, yeah, it's got 28% crit chance with this mod, but whenever you get that crit multiplier, that's you doing 4 times the amount of damage per bullet, and it happens relatively often, so I'd say it's not dead to build a crit build on her at all. Some of the stuff that is a little bit questionable, and this is just for personal preference, is this Prime Slick magazine. So as you can see right here, we go from 60 in the magazine to 93, and if you have 93 shots in the magazine, you're not going to run out of ammo ever. So I do personally like that, but you could definitely go with more damage. If you wanted to run Prime Heated Charge, just increase the heat more. That's going to give you a big chunk of extra damage. And we've also got Viral and Heat on here. There's, like I said, lots of customization. We have an Eidolon build right here. Never mind, didn't even mod that out. And if you want to like go Radiation for an Eidolon build, that's what I'd recommend, is full Radiation and crit stats. But since it has really good status chance, modding for Viral and Heat, pretty powerful here. And of course we have our multi-shot mods. We have a multi-shot mod. Oh my gosh, I wasn't running a multi-shot mod this whole time. Oh god. Well, rest in peace, this build. It was still doing fine with no multi-shot mods, okay? I definitely recommend to put Barrel Diffusion on here in the future. Let's just do that. Alright, I definitely messed up. You need to have more form on this thing. But yeah, so if you were to just do the way I would actually recommend is you would actually probably take off, I guess, Pistol Gambit, and you would put another multi-shot mod there. That is a yikes. Yeah, like I said, though, it was working. In the footage we're going to show you, we were running it with no Barrel Diffusion. We were running Lethal Torrent instead. So let's get some enemies in here. And yeah, that just shows in this game, having the optimal build doesn't really matter most of the time. So Get some guys in here, and we'll spawn them in. And let's show. There's a level 100, so let's see how this goes. Now that I actually have max multi-shot. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. And see, they're fumbling with my butterflies right now. They're not attacking me. They probably don't even know I exist right now. So, yeah, pretty good stuff. And let's jump into a mission gameplay right here. Yeah, just going to quickly flash the builds one more time. Oh, we didn't show the Dewata either. So, yeah, you don't need to have the crit damage here. You could potentially switch out Prime Slip Magazine for something you prefer more. And if you want to put more form on here and put the crit damage mod on, you're going to want the crit damage mod for an Eidolon build. Okay, and then the Dewata Prime, her melee, this is basically like completely bugged out and doesn't even work half the time. So what we're running here is we're actually running a healing return build. So what this does is like condition overload, but for healing. So this is basically if you need to get your health up a little bit, and an enemy is already affected by status, you hit them a couple times, you're going to regen like 30, 40 health per hit. So that's why we're not running any like attack mods on here, like Prime Pressure Point or anything like that, because we only are using this thing for healing, because this thing is garbage. It's got a bug on PC where it's actually auto-targeting the enemy's ankles and doing pretty much nothing. So I would never recommend ever using this thing until they do a complete overhaul of Arcwing Melee, which will never happen. So yeah, never use that. Alright, that's basically it. Let's get into the mission gameplay and we'll go over some stuff. Okay, so full mission gameplay, here we go. So here's the build I was running, and I'm going to show you, this is with a... This is with the Dex Pixia, not running a multi-shot mod, or running a multi-shot mod, but not the good multi-shot mod. So, yeah, the Synoid Gamma Core was not important here. I was just making sure that I did not get my energy regen while I'm in my Dex Pixia. So, here we go. Me being a fool running a crit mod instead of a multi-shot mod here, but it's going to work totally fine. So, and then I actually was trying out taking off the heat mod for some more damage. And then, yeah, same stuff. Oh, by the way, guys, sometimes running the Razorwing Blitz augment, you can actually do some really stupid amounts of speed. Before we hop on the mission, let's just quickly show that. So here I am corrupted in a mission with not even like a fully leveled Titania. And here's how fast you go. You run into the walls a little bit because you're going so fast. And if you're in like an open world environment like Fortuna or the Plains of Eidolon, yeah, you're gonna fly all the way across like in no time at all. And if you go really fast, you're gonna like glitch out the game like that, which I would not recommend. So here we are going to a Kuva Flood on Europa. It's an Exterminate. Exterminates are pretty good missions for Titania. Also capture missions. The kinds of missions I would bring Titania to are mostly like boss fights, I'd say. She's a really, really good boss frame. Like if there's a swordy boss fight, one of my main characters to bring is Titania, not gonna lie. You can get a huge fire rate buff with her Razorwing Blitz augment mod, which comes from New Loka, and one of the other syndicates. I usually just get it from New Loka though. And additionally, she can do some good CC, like I mentioned earlier. Although, like you'll see right here, I'm never running her CC. I'm basically just using her as a Arcwing that I'm flying in a normal mission as. Yeah, so would I recommend Titania to you guys? I'd say no, I wouldn't, because the thing is that Mesa exists, and Mesa is just a better version of Titania. Unfortunately, yeah, she doesn't auto-target. You have to actually aim. And that's just a victim of Mesa having auto-targeting on her pistols. I think comparing the two is kind of like dumb, because why would you ever pick Titania over Mesa? Unless you like how Titania looks. I think Titania Prime looks pretty cool. But yeah, I would never run her over Mesa, just as far as efficiency is concerned. And that's pretty much it. Oh, by the way, Rolling Guard does work in Titania's 4, but it does not work on the Blink in her 4. So if you want to use Rolling Guard on Titania, you're going to actually need to like do like a side roll or a forward roll. They added Blink to Titania's forward because every Arcwing has Blink now. But yeah, it does not work with Rolling Guard. As you see here, our energy is getting a little bit low. That's why we're definitely going to be relying on getting an Arc and Energized proc here. If we get an Arc and Energized proc, it's going to fill up like basically half of our energy bar. So if you don't have Arc and Energized, you might want to run Flow or Prime Flow to give you a bigger energy pool to work with. But I personally didn't find it like it was super necessary, because Energized procs pretty often, and Titania Prime versus the normal version has a larger energy pool. So, yeah. So some other things, guys. I would like to just let you guys know that I am actually going to be doing a lot of Scarlet Spear tomorrow on Twitch, on my Twitch channel. So it's twitch.tv/gaz_ttv. if you guys are on PC and you want to farm the Scarlet Sphere, stop by tomorrow, Saturday the 4th, and yeah, we'll try to get multiple squads going, so if you can't hop on my squad, there might be someone in chat that's looking to farm it too. And I mean, if you're at my Twitch channel, you probably have seen quite a few of my videos, so you know that Limbo and Mesa are the good stuff, so there should probably be some pretty good players there, hopefully. And then beyond that, I didn't actually show you guys what the differences between Titania Prime and normal Titania are, because there actually are a couple differences. So first off, the Dex Pixia Prime, her pistols, they have slightly more base damage than the normal Dex Pixia. Everything else about them is completely the same, but they've got like 10% more base damage. So keep that one in mind. Titania Prime's pistols, strictly better than normal Titania. And then as far as like armor and shield comparisons and stuff, I'm going to put that on the screen here for you. So, the stuff on the left is Titania Prime, and the stuff on the right is normal Titania. So we have more everything pretty much. So Titania Prime, huge upgrade over the original. So keep that one in mind. Actually, that's showing modded values. What is up with this game sometimes? All right, one sec. I'll fix that, and then I'll fix that up, and then we will actually show you what the real stuff is. It wouldn't be Warframe without bugs. That's for sure. All right, now that that's corrected, hopefully that's not modded. You know what? Let's make sure it's not modded here too. All right, get everything removed. Freaking DE. Sometimes I don't even know. All right, are we for real here now? No more bugs? All right, here we go. So yeah, this is just a general gist of how Titania works. Just fly around and kill stuff. Alright, so on the left we got normal Titania. On the right we got Titania Prime. So we got 25 more armor, like 37 more energy, okay. And then we have 75 more health. So, big upgrade. No increased shields, no increased sprint speed. And these are the actual values, not the bug values that they were showing me a couple seconds ago. So, yeah, like I said, I would not really recommend her to you over other frames, but, you know, at least you know how to play her now, and she looks pretty cool. So, that's just how it is. I'd say other frames like Mesa, Saren, Nova, frames of that nature, all going to be better. Revenant, Anaros, blah, blah, blah. So, that's me for the video, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. Sorry about the problems with the UI and stuff earlier, but that's just how it is. I'll talk to you guys next time. Like I said, check out the Twitch stream tomorrow. Going to be doing lots of Scarlet. I get to farm. How many arcanes do I get to farm tomorrow? Or want to farm tomorrow? I don't have to. I need 4 more energizes. I need 10 more grace, 1 barrier, 8 victory, 8 velocity, 9 precision, 1 acceleration, and 2 awakening. And there's probably more beyond that I actually would like to have, but just didn't immediately write them down, because those are the useful ones I want. So, yep, I'll be doing quite a few runs of that Scarlet Sphere, and we'll be, I don't know if we'll be flotilla hopping. We'll see. There's definitely a potential for that to backfire, so, yeah. And as far as if this Prime Access is worth it, I mean, it's $150 for stuff you can farm for free. Like, I got all this stuff in 3 hours of farming, although I got insanely lucky, of course. So it's up to you. Like, do you want to support DE? Do you want to buy these things? Do you not want to farm for them? Do you feel like you really need these weapons and stuff? Because, I mean, honestly, the Korth normal gets the job done and is arguably less annoying to use sometimes because it doesn't require the double press of detonation on the explosion shot. Pangolin Prime, on the other hand, extremely powerful. The Pangolin normal is nowhere near this level of power at all. And Titania Prime versus normal Titania can get the job done. But Titania Prime also comes with some additional polarities. Like I said, I only put 1 form on her, and that's for the Aura mod. So all these polarities on here are on by default. So we've got a D polarity, 2 V polarities, and a dash. Pretty nice for right out the box, honestly. So I can't really complain about that one. So either way, I'll talk to you guys next time. Please like, share, and subscribe. More videos coming every day on the channel, guys, until D shuts down the server someday. So, yep, take it easy. Peace.